global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Global Happenings today. A lot of Nigerians, the likes of Deji Adeoju and others, well-meaning Nigerians, have been looking at the radar of Nigeria politically, praying and hoping that there will be a merger between NNPP's Kwangwaso's NNPP and Peter Obi's Labour Party. Alas, it didn't happen that way. A lot of stories went down, and of course, Kwangwaso had an interview on China's television where he aired his mind. Well, it looks like Peter Obi's campaign team have decided also to respond to everything he has said concerning the merger and the fact that Peter Obi may not even, according to him, he says, it may put him even at a disadvantage, really, if he's to deputize Peter Obi. And he mentioned a lot of things why he cannot and will not deputize Peter Obi. Let's find out really what Peter Obi's campaign team have decided to tell them once and for all. But before we do that, to like it, subscribe to our channel, please click on this red subscribe button beside it. You see a bell notification icon as well. Please click on it as well to get notified as soon as we update our channel. All right, let's hear what they said. The Nigerian politician and former senior special advisor to Governor Godwin Obaseki on new media, Jack Obiyan, has expressed his reaction after Rabiu Kwangwaso, the presidential candidate of the NNPP, said he is too qualified to be a running mate to Peter Obi of the Labour Party. It can be recalled that the former governor of Kano State, Rabiu Kwangwaso, during a recent interview on Channels Television, gave his reasons why he cannot be a running mate to Peter Obi. He, however, stated that he can accept Peter Obi to be his running mate for the forthcoming presidential election. Jacobian, while reacting to Kwangwaso's statement, dismissed the option of Peter Obi being a running mate to Kwangwaso for 2023 presidential election. He also added that Labour Party should move on since Kwangwaso doesn't want to accept to be Peter Obi's running mate. Jacobian wrote on his social media page, said, based on Kwangwaso's declaration on Channels, we should accept the reality and move on. He doesn't want to be a vice president, and we don't want Peter Obi to be anyone's vice president under no circumstances whatsoever. The obedient movement has grown way beyond Peter Obi and the way beyond what anyone can even imagine. We will all meet at the polls to decide the future of our country. I wish him and Kwangwaso the very best. Thumbs up. I like this. There's no bad blood. There's no bad blood anywhere. No hard feelings. Okay, if you do not want to have any merger with Labour Party, we understand. We also understand the fact that you don't also want to deputize Peter Obi. We also understand that. We wish you well. Let's meet at the polls. That is maturity. Okay, but let's look at this critically. Personally, much as I had desired, just like the likes of Deji Adeoju have been praying and begging, please merger. It's only through merger that you can really get your vote and make your vote count and possibly wrestle power away from APC. It's about if both of them would contest differently, that they will only end up enthroning Bola Ahmed Tinubu because they will divide the vote of PDP, because both of them are products of PDP. So they will divide the vote of PDP, giving an edge to APC. Whatever the case is, to come 2023 general elections polls, we will find out how thorough that analysis is. But personal opinion now, it's not as if I don't want the merger. But when merger is coming, a situation where everybody's doing power tussle, no, I shouldn't be, you should be. There's no reasoning. The beauty about teamwork is when everybody believes they're all players and everybody believes each one of us are important to this game. Only then can the victory of the team be assured. If Kwangwaso had agreed to become the deputy under duress or under forced cajoling of his mindset, he would have been a terrible vice president to Peter Obi. He would have antagonized Peter Obi. He would have been worse than Atiku Abubakar Olusegun Obasanjo and Atiku Abubakar's slot, where at the tail end of their rule, Atiku Abubakar and Olusegun Obasanjo were practically spilling out their dirty learning in the whole public space. They were all out for each other's throats. It would have been worse if that, because at some point, Kongwaso would have looked at Peter Obi as, look at this one. Since when did he become a politician that be giving me order? Sometimes maybe Peter Obi want to go somewhere and probably tell Kongwaso, go, so who's going, who's giving me order? Because he doesn't even believe Peter Obi should even be ruling him. Do you understand? He doesn't even believe Peter Obi deserves to be the president if eventually they have won on measure. And that would have been the worst thing. At the end of the day, they will antagonize one another. At some point, they will even find themselves being impeached. Which one of them probably will be, or one of them will be fighting the other until eventually the whole. Can you imagine teamwork that ought to be team, at least together we make a stronghold to fight those who are fighting us outwardly. But instead, you're even fighting internally to get your those outside to make your whole government sink. And you say, after all, it's not my government. You people elected him. So it would have been a terrible one, honestly. And you're seeing the signs that it's going to be cracked. So since they both, for some reasons, Kongwaso doesn't believe that Peter will have the capacity to make him his deputy. So hey, I think that like he rightly say, I wish you all well. Let's meet at the polls. But one thing is certain, I don't know who he's going to pick as his running mate. But Kongwaso should know that we need to thought, all right, to thought of all Nigerians to make this happen. So you cannot be leveraging on Kano. Yes, Kano is a very big state. You can't take that away. You can't win all Kano and expect that you have won the whole Nigeria. Okay, you win some part of the north. You will need southerner. Okay, you want to pick a strong southerner with Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Jagaban himself. He's already sweeping the whole southwestern states. And with all this crisis going on in PDP, and with Peter Obi having stronghold in South to some extent, don't also forget that the same Kanu we are talking about, Ganduje, is the governor and is a strong supporter of Bola Ahmed Tinubu and a strong card-carrying member of APC. And you will think he will fold his hands and allow Kongwaso to take all of Kano State. They are going to drag it. At least some part of Kano will go to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So if his strongest point is being dragged by another person, another party entirely, so what's the yardstick? Already you're seeing that the youth are already favoring Peter Obi. Why not let go? But then again, he's a grown man, he's matured, he has made his choice. The best thing to it is in the answer the polls. But whatever the case is, 2023 election cannot totally be predicted. Yes, there's a lot of permutations here and there, but it will be different to a great extent from the usual, where we are so sure that this will always remain an opposition, and this is just like you say, Man U and Arsenal will somehow, to some extent. Then those days when Alex Ferguson was the coach of Man United, we all knew that somehow Premiership Man U will always carry it. But it's now different now. Premiership have changed. Let's go to wrap it up. Let's put in the comment section. What's your take in what is going on?